In vertebrate evolution, there are various steps. So to discuss about steps in vertebrate evolution, we first have to know about the phylogenetic tree. So in case of phylogenetic tree, jawless vertebrate is the first vertebrate, after which jawed vertebrate, which arrived in the world about 550 million years ago. And after then, jawed vertebrates arrived about 460 million years ago. These jawed vertebrates included both cartilaginous and bony fishes, also raffian fishes. After then, that means teleost and cartilaginous fishes arrived at that time. After then, lobe fin fishes arrived here, and after lobe-footed fishes, tetrapod first arrived. In case of tetrapod, which first arrived 370 million years ago, and this tetrapod includes amphibia, reptile, birds, and mammals. So, according to geological timescale, aeon, era, period, and epochs are there. So, regarding vertebrate evolution, three main eras are essential. First one is Paleozoic, Mesozoic, and Cenozoic era. In Paleozoic era, there are various periods like Cambrian, in which first earliest vertebrates, that means jawless vertebrates, emerged. In Ordovician period, jawed vertebrates began to appear. In Silurian period, these jawed vertebrates jaws fish become diversified. In Devonian period, the bony fish become dominant. In Carboniferous period, first amphibians, that means first tetrapods appear, which are able to live both in water and land. And particularly in Permian period, reptiles begin to diversify. We all know that Mesozoic era is the age of reptiles. So this Mesozoic era can be divided into three periods: Triassic, Jurassic, and Cretaceous period. In Triassic period, early dinosaurs appeared, but Jurassic period, we all about know that Jurassic period is the main reign period of dinosaurs, from which birds evolved from a group of three or four dinosaurs. And Cretaceous period, dinosaurs remain dominant. And after then, Cenozoic era, which contains two periods, Tertiary and Quaternary. In Tertiary periods, following the extinction of dinosaurs, mammals appeared and diversified. And in Quaternary period, particularly in Pleistocene epoch, the modern human first evolved. So, the jawless vertebrates which first arrived in the world about 550 million years ago, the only fossil record found of jawless vertebrates are the ostracoderm. Here it is a picture of ostracoderm. Ostracoderm has a special characteristics. It has body has armor or defensive mechanism, but they lack of jaws and paired fins. And these all jawless vertebrate included under Agnathus. So Agnathus, these are extinct form of Agnathus, but modern Agnathus include lamprey and hagfishes. These Agnatha are a paraphyletic group from where modern cyclostomes arrived. That means hagfish and myxine arrived. Why it is called cyclostome? Because In that case, jawless fish, due to the absence of jaws, their mouth become rounded in shape. So they are known as cyclostome. Cyclostome means circular mouth. The other features of these ancient ostracoderms already told that they have no jaws, no paired fins, only they have armored, bony armor structure, and they are separating from jawed vertebrates because jaws vertebrates are also known as gnatostomata. Gnatostomata means the animal which have jaws. So in this gnatostomata, only difference is that they have jaws, but in case of agnatha, they have no jaws. So this is all about ostracoderms. Next is jawed vertebrates or jawed fish, which is known as jawed fish means gnatostomata, which evolved during Silurian period. And the evolution of jaws and paired fins derive from pharyngeal arches. What is pharyngeal arches? Pharyngeal arches actually in embryonic stage of vertebrata, there are some bulging appears in the skull, head of the skull region, and these embryonic bulging area later on these area become the pharynx, and as the bulges are there, they are known as pharyngeal arches. And this Silurian Devonian period is also known as the age of fish. So the extinct forms of jawed fish is placodum, which is shown in the picture. It is armored plate skin fish. It is the first jawed vertebrates, and they are fossil found during Silurian period and Devonian period. At the same time, acanthodians is another fossil found, which are spiny shark appeared in the Silurian period. But the living forms of jawed fish, that means gnathostomata, is divided into two parts. One is cartilaginous fishes, another is osteichthyous fishes. Cartilaginous fishes are the fishes which have cartilage, which includes shark, skates, rays, etc., and bony fishes, which represent the majority of the bony fishes and which arrived in the world about 420 million years ago. Now, after these jawed fish, first arrival of tetrapod occurs. In tetrapod, what do you mean by tetrapod? Tetrapod means they have four limbs. These four-limbed vertebrates evolved from a group of lobe-finned fishes known as tetrapodomorphs during the Devonian period, and which is approximately about 390 to 370 million years ago. And this stage, tetrapodomorphs, is known as fish to tetrapod transition. They arrived from the lobe-finned fish, and the lobe-finned fish, that means they're the lineage of, they arise from the sarcopterygians, which already had strong paired fleshy fins. See the picture of these sarcopterygi, which have fleshy fins, which later on developed into wings. So these, beside the tetrachomorphs, has some transitional forms character. They are purely aquatic fishes. They live in the fossil fish, and particularly they live in the swamp region. And the limb development in case of them, the robust fin of those fish developed into particularly Sarcopterygi. They have lobed fin. The lobed fin fish, they become developed into limbs and digits, providing them support for locomotion on land. So, after this arrival of amphibia, first tetrapod is amphibia, and already told that the direct ancestor of amphibians are lobe-finned fish, that is Sarcopterygi, which is more fleshy, multi-jointed fins, and rudimentary lungs. These fish live in the stagnant oxygen-poor water of the Devonian period in the swamp area. Their lungs provided to breathe air, and their strong fins help them move through the muddy bottoms and of the submerged vegetation. These lobed fins, with their internal bones gradually transformed into limbs with digits providing the skeletal support. That means Sarcopterygi is the first amphibians which have in which fleshy multi-jointed fins developed into limbs. So after then, reptiles arrived. Reptiles evolved in Carboniferous period about 320 million years ago from amphibians, during which have the amniotic egg, particularly particularly in the egg-laying animals. Egg-laying animals, the embryo developed within the egg, and these egg contains four layers: amnion, chorion, allantois, and yolk sac. So as the embryo develops within the amnion, that is a fluid-filled sac, they are known as amniotic egg. And the yolk sac present in them is helping the nutrition. Allantois is helping the excretion, that means waste and storage products and for respiration. And above all, the whole embryo is covered by a protective shell. So after a period of small size amniotes and thus reptiles become dominant. Previously they are very small size and later on they become dominant. At the same time, the earliest reptiles, which are very small lizard-like insect eating animals known as Hyalonomus. This is the picture of the fossil of the Hyalonomus, which is small lizard-like animal and living around 319 and 315, 319 to 315 million years ago. So the first amniotes quickly diversified into major groups, into three groups. Number one, synapsid, which leads to mammals. Number two, anapsid, which leads to reptiles, that is ancient turtles. And number three, diapsid, leading to modern reptiles and birds. Now, at the same time, after the arriving of reptile, the reptile dominate up to Mesozoic era and beyond the Mesozoic era. During Mesozoic era, dinosaurs flourished and eventually giving rise to modern birds. The modern reptile groups includes snakes, lizards, turtles, crocodiles, also originated during this time, that means Mesozoic era. Now, there is a transitional fossil between birds and mammals, which is known as Archaeopteryx, which arrived in the world about 150 million years ago in the late Jurassic period. They have both they had both reptilian and avian characters. In reptilian characters, they have sharp cone-shaped teeth, jaws. Number two, they have a long bony tail of vertebrae, and their hand three that and their hand had three clawed fingers for grasping and climbing on trees, and their sternum lacked the kill. The avian characters of the Archaeopteryx, which is a transitional fossil, are where the presence of feathers on its wing and tail, just like birds, and their forelimbs are modified into wings, and the presence of wishbone formed by the fusion of clavicles. Their skull, just like birds, become more rounded, indicating larger brain case, that is cranium, compared to most reptiles. Their hand had three fingers, although they are long and clawed. After then, appearance of bird occurs. So we had already told that birds evolved from theropod dinosaurs during the Jurassic period, about 165, 150 million years ago. So it is already clear that birds arises from particular dinosaurs known as threo- theropod, a group of small bipedal carnivores. So particularly, Archaeopteryx is considered the intermediate form between the dinosaurs and modern birds, as they had feathers and some bird-like characters. So during the Cretaceous period, this fossil-like Confucius, Confuciornis, which is showed in the picture, become found, which shows the beaks and long tails evolving towards a more modern bird characters. And the end of Cretaceous period, 66 million years ago, most birds were wiped out with their dinosaur relatives by an accidental asteroid impact. But a few lineage of birds survived at that time during this extinction, leading to a rapid and dramatic diversification into about 10,000 more modern species of bird till now populate the earth. Next, at the last, the appearance of mammals occurs, which is specifically arises from particular group known as Therapsida, a subgroup of Synapsid. This transition occurred during Triassic period, around 200 million years ago. In case of Synapsid, they had a skull with a single opening called temporal fenestra behind the eye socket. This is the main distinction from other reptile groups. Beside this, Therapsid, a more advanced group, exhibited several mammalian characters having heterodont dentition. Heterodont means different types of teeth present. That means incisor, canine, molar, and premolar. Some presence of all these four types of teeth, then it is called heterodontin. So mammalian has the character of mammalian dentition, heterodont dentition, and a secondary palate, that means which separate the nasal passage from the mouth. Beside these cynodonts, which are close relative to mammals, which is already showed in the picture, these early mammal fossils shows that they are very small, they are nocturnal and live in the shadows of dinosaurs. And main examples of this early mammals in Morgano, Cordonitis. So this is all about the steps in vertebrate of mammals.